Hey, welcome to our deep dive on the documentary Heal. This film explores a really radical and honestly super empowering idea that our thoughts, our beliefs, and our emotions are the key to unlocking our body's own incredible capacity for healing. It's like we all have an inner pharmacy. We just need to learn how to access it. So the film kicks off by asking a question that I think feels more relevant now than ever. I mean, just look around. It seems like almost everyone is struggling with some kind of chronic condition. So why? What is going on? To start answering that, we're immediately dropped into some very personal stories. Stories of confusion, of pain, and a search for answers that, a lot of us can probably relate to in some way. And the thing is, these aren't just numbers or statistics. These are real people. They're dealing with these life-altering diagnoses and often facing years of just uncertainty and struggle inside the conventional medical world. And this quote, this one really captures the frustration right at the heart of the whole issue. So many modern illnesses are just mysteries. They get labeled autoimmune, the causes are unknown, and the treatments can often feel like total guesswork. Okay, so let's really dive into this. To get what the film is saying, we first have to wrap our heads around the massive scale of this problem. The documentary really frames this as one of the fundamental questions of our time. Is it just that our bodies are failing us in a toxic world? Is it inevitable? Or is there something deeper going on that maybe we're just not seeing? Now, to understand the film's alternative point of view, we first have to look at the map of medicine that's been the standard for centuries, the traditional way of thinking. So, for like 300 years, medicine has pretty much seen the body as a physical machine. It's based on old Newtonian physics. Parts break down, you fix the part. Simple. But there's a new map emerging, one that's influenced by quantum physics, and it sees the body totally differently, as a dynamic energy system where our perception, what we think and feel, plays a huge role. And this new map, this new way of thinking, it leads us to a really powerful idea: the mind-body connection. It suggests that our minds are way, way more powerful than we've ever been led to believe, and that they directly influence our physical health. Okay, you have to see this. This experiment they show is so simple but so profound. They took genetically identical cells and put them in 3 different environments. And guess what? The same genes created completely different tissues: muscle, bone, and fat, all based only on their environment. I mean, that's the science of epigenetics right there in a nutshell. And this quote from biologist Bruce Lipton just nails the takeaway. See, our cells respond to signals from their environment, and for us humans, our perception of the world is a huge part of that environment. How you see the world changes your body's internal chemistry, sending signals that can literally turn your genes on and off. You're not a victim, you're a master. We see this power of perception all the time with the placebo effect, right? Where belief alone can actually trigger healing. But the opposite is also true, and this is kind of scary. The nocebo effect shows that a negative belief, like a doctor giving you a grim prognosis, can create the very illness it predicts. Your belief is a powerful, powerful prescription, for good or for bad. Okay, so if our inner world, our thoughts, our perceptions, our beliefs, has this massive, massive impact, the documentary points to one main culprit that is driving so much chronic disease in our society today. Get ready for this number because it is just staggering.
90%. The vast majority of the time we go looking for medical help, the underlying cause is actually stress. And yet, how often are we just given a pill for the symptom instead of a real solution for the root cause? So here's the crucial point. Your body cannot be in growth and repair mode at the same time it's in fight or flight mode. It just can't. So when you're constantly worried about work or money or the news, your body is pouring all its energy into the state of emergency. And that means it's shutting down the very systems designed for long-term health and healing.
So if chronic stress is what shuts down our healing systems, well, then the solution has to figure out how to consciously activate the body's relaxation response. We have to create an internal environment that actually promotes health. This is so cool. One researcher studied over 1,500 cases of what's called radical remission. These are people who healed from so-called incurable diseases. And she found they all shared these 9 factors. But what's really incredible? Look at them. 7 of the 9 are mental, emotional, and spiritual. This quote comes from Anita Moorjani. She had this absolutely remarkable recovery from end-stage cancer after a near-death experience. And it just perfectly captures this idea. Her healing didn't come from a new drug. It came from this profound internal shift, from a life that was based on fear to one based on love and just being herself. And all of this, it brings us to the documentary's ultimate conclusion. It's a message that really shifts us from being these passive victims to being active creators of our own well-being. At the end of the day, the core message is one of profound empowerment. Our bodies are not these flawed machines that are just destined to break down. No, they're intelligent, self-regulating systems that are brilliantly designed to heal. And we have so much more influence over that process than we've ever been taught. So the documentary leaves us with this final thought, and it's what I want to leave you with too. In a world of infinite possibilities, from fear and sickness to love and health, what you focus on becomes your reality. So the choice of where you place your attention, well, that might just be the most powerful medicine of all.